Welcome to this presentation. This is Dr. Lemuel Benjamin King on Voice to the World. And I will be speaking to you on leadership and globalization. This presentation is a very focused presentation on how people within the diaspora or within a nation can contribute to the leadership of the nation without hurting the nation. I will say this every time because leadership and a leader, though they are very close when it comes to functionality, but a leader is different from the leadership. This is a big argument statement in leadership that many people have not understood. But if you go into my book, The Icon of Leadership, you will understand the differences between a leader and a leadership. But just in short, I made people to understand that a leader is an individual and the leadership is a group of people composed of the leader, which the leader will be the head of that leadership. I will speak on that in another forum of discussion. From my book, The Icon of Leadership, we will be coming up with a comprehensive presentation on leadership. But I ask that you still tune and listen to the audio recording on globalization and leadership from a very comprehensive perspective. So stay tuned and enjoy the listening.
And those at national level should collaborate. I was speaking on the Liberia community and other foreign community overseas. That these people could hardly contribute to the development. Leadership is not about fighting and lying. Because we all are there to work and defend our nation, work towards the development of our nation. We cannot be the same people that will create conditions which will stop the development process in the nation. I was speaking that if only our African communities, not only Liberia, all African communities overseas could collaborate, you will have people working with leadership to contribute to the development process of the nation rather than trying to destabilize the nation. Like I was saying, many of the issues that go on in Africa, instead of people in foreign nations contributing to the African development, they are creating chaos, war, problems that destabilize the continent. I mentioned that leadership is a process, and it is within the constitution of the nation. That is, there is a time frame given for each leadership to carry out the leadership objective. We cannot be the one to cause chaos. As I mentioned, if you have listened to the other tape, that when a person is elected, they are elected for the time frame. There is no need for people to cause problems like riot, demonstration, and all street violence as a way to destabilize leadership. I was talking, I speak as a neutral person. I have not gotten in touch with any leader to say I support them on the African stage because I'm more nationalist. That is, I mostly think about the well-being of our people in general rather than looking at individual party affiliations. One of the problems that leaders face is that people do not give leaders the time to lead. The thing is common, as I mentioned. When the leaders win an election, leave that person to lead. This is the mistake that people who want to learn leadership are causing. They are causing the constant problem. Look, a leader is given a time frame, like for Liberia, 4 years, 6 years. If the person is given 4 years, leave them for that 4 years to lead. And let us see what they are capable of doing. If they are there for 6 years, rather, give them that 6 years to lead. And let's see what they are capable of doing. What people need to do, as I was speaking, in the diaspora or in the foreign country, as foreign national, national in foreign line, is to contribute positively to the development process, rather than contributing negatively to the development process. When I talk about positive contribution, what am I saying? Positive contribution will mean supporting leadership, not destabilizing leadership. Let me take, for instance, many of these foreign communities around and the world, they could play a great role in leadership in Africa. At times, they will be able to go and make sure they work with leaders in order to help develop the country. If leadership are faced with problems, they are going to help collaborate and see how best they are able to solve those problems. Not those that will go and try to destroy the leadership. Not those that will try to create demonstrations or protest against the leadership. These kinds of problems are the things that are causing a more problem every day to move forward in our development process. Someone will want to argue that all the people got it right to demonstrate. You got it right, not after you put a leader into power. You got it right at the time of election. Go and prove your right. Use your power. That's your constitutional right. Look, I do not support anybody destabilizing any government in Africa. That may be clear and strong. I do not support oppositions. I do not support people who cause chaos. I do not support them. I support the process of democracy. That is, if a leader is put into power for 6 years, I give them the time to lead. And if I got any problem, I will voice it up through a peaceful communication, or I wait for the time of election and vote against. That is the process of democracy. People who want to cause chaos, you are not suffering the leader, you are suffering the common people. Holding back budget, stopping the leadership from progressing, you are only hurting the common people. And I take leadership to be an opportunity for those that feel they can contribute to the nation. That's all I take leadership to be. I have spelled out in my document that Africa, if we look into globalization, Africa should unite. When I say unite is that we have to collaborate. Look at the African community in foreign countries. Look, we could organize ourselves. We could plan the community well. But if you come overseas, the very African are the one trying to destroy other Africans. Shame. It's a complete shame among foreign counterparts. I have seen it so many times. Our own African trying to destroy other Africans. Shame. It's a shame. I will have more evidence if I just show you how many Africans in this place trying to destroy me. You won't believe it. It's a shame. For instance, the Liberian community could collaborate. The first thing, they are not even together in America. You don't have a unified community. You have this community of Michigan, you have the community of California, you have the community of this, Minnesota, Philadelphia. To even come to a collaborative communication and how they once tried to do it, but were divided by the same issue I'm talking about. If we could collaborate, many of our leaders in the foreign country could work along with leadership nationally to help solve problems that leaders are faced with. Creating the mindset that the leader is our enemy is creating the mindset that is creating a problem against your own country. Your leader is not your enemy, they are your leader. Whosoever go into power, alone they have won the process of democracy, they are the leader. Give them a chance to build one block. If they're building one block in Liberia or in other countries, give them the time to put that block together well and lay a farm. That foundation should be built a farm. Stop throwing them from building what they are doing. Because tomorrow you may be there. And when people start throwing you, you will start to cry. These are the practices that people have been carrying on in Africa for so long. Creating war, guns, all those things in the interest of seeking power. That's what I'm writing. I would like some of you to read a book, The Icon of Leadership. It will help people. I'm capable to teach anybody leadership. I got a degree, I got an education, I got long experience. This is what I explain and handle issues based on professionalism. I don't handle issues like stupid people. I handle it on professionalism. I respect leadership. I respect the process of democracy. I wait for my time. People should wait for the time. When your time reaches, they will put you into power. If I so build one business in Africa when my time reaches, I will build it. I depend on time. The appropriate time, the right thing will happen. People who want to jump over process are the one creating problems. Because jumping over process have led us to many, many problems in our nation. Death, bloodshed, destabilization, destruction of infrastructure in our development process. We cannot continue in such an attitude. I'm evident seeing what people do in foreign countries against their own nation in the interest of politics. You are not running politics because you don't even understand what politics is. Because if you understood what politics is, you will use truth data to do good things. You will use right information to do good things. The process is so easy when the people don't need you, you cannot force it. Forcing leadership, forcing people into power is where, those are the things that have led us today to many, many issues and problems. The people don't want you to be a leader, you want to convince them all, by all means. That's what I tell people. If I will ever be leader in Africa, I will not go beg nobody. I wrote in my book, the call into leadership. It's a calling. When the people call you into leadership, that means they need you. If they don't call you, sit back and watch and support those that they call into leadership. You don't need to go and fight. You don't need to go and kill innocent people or use your financial power to influence the poor people as a weapon, destroying their own life for you to go into power. Those are the practices that people have claimed, that claim to be leaders or want to be leaders, have been using in order to be leader in Africa. A bad approach to leadership. I'm still speaking on globalization and international relations among Africans. Africans that come and naturalize what are the international relationship between your country and your new country with you as an African. What role are you playing? What are the advantages and disadvantages? What positive part are you making? Like I was saying, if all the community around the world, African community, were just playing positive role in the country, Africa would have gone a far, far way by now. Supporting education and other disciplines, supporting leadership in the more mature way. If people could just do these things, today Africa would have gone a long way, because the amount of Africans in foreign countries is a great database for development. It's a very, very great resource of database or resource base for development. A very great resource base. The resources we can get from these people and the amount of people, that means the number, that is the demography of the total amount of Africans in foreign nations. It's a whole database of unique people with all different kinds of experience and qualification and knowledge that could make Africa a different place. What are they doing with this knowledge, education, and experience? We have a unique database, a resource base of people. If you just go through the total demographic of Africans in foreign countries, they are in the millions. In the millions. What contribution this total demographic of Africans are making in Africa as an impact upon the life of upon the life of the people and the continent as a whole. These are things that we need to look at. I was talking, I said, look, just uniting, if only African could unite among themselves in foreign country, it would make a big difference. All the Nigerian community in the 50-some states in America unite and find one big Nigerian community. That means you have different states. All the leaders come together at time, have meeting in the interest. All the Liberians from the various states have one large base or headquarters. Everybody come together, get together. Then at the end, all the Africans, all the community, the African, the top leaders come together again in the United States. You know the difference, or in foreign country, the difference it will make on the continent of Africa. You will make lot of differences. But we are not doing this thing. We are using the disadvantages more than the advantages of living in foreign country. And these things are affecting not only our country, but our continent. I mean the continent as a whole. These are things we need to correct. Instead of you spending thousands of dollars to create riots, spend thousands of dollars to invite the president into the foreign country where you have a good number of people and discuss issues, or send a committee that will go and sit with the president and discuss issues on the way forward to develop your country, instead of causing problems that even will lead to one person being hurt or dead. I do not support those efforts. You should be giving scholarship to our young people, bringing some of them overseas instead of you using money to make them to become violent and cause problems. Teach them things. We need to make people to teach them those positive things, not negative things. You should be trying to get the negative part out of the young people instead of asking them to get on the street, demonstrate, do this. There is no need for you to demonstrate because you don't understand the process of democracy. This is why people will demonstrate. If you give somebody the time to leave, you got the power after that time to remove them. You got the power after the time to remove them. There is no need. After the time you can remove them and go on with another pricing. Look, let me tell you a secret. In my book, The Icon of Leadership, that I write it out, you will always need leader. That's one thing people have not understood. You will always need young leader. There are countries that have been in existence for hundreds of years. They're always looking for young leader. You will always need a new person. And another point I made in that book, no leader will ever complete the task of a country. There will always be something for them to do. No leader will ever complete the task of a country. Or else you won't need leader anymore because everything is done. There is always something there. So there is no need to embarrass any leader for what they cannot complete. Because they will not complete everything. In the next 100 or 200 years, you will still need a leader to complete something. Because people are building and things, the human needs are growing every day. You can agree with me that people will always need leaders. That's why you need to read my book, The Icon of Leadership. Now, point of leadership in a more comprehensive approach. You will always need leaders. So why worry about how much this leader is able to do and how much they cannot do? Because after the next 200 years, you will still be asking someone to be a leader again, to do something in the country. Why are you fighting for things that somebody can do and what they cannot do? What they can do, they do it, and the time finishing to go, that's all. All they do, that's what we gave them credit for. And the next person come and do that one, we give them credit. I do not believe any leader can fail. No leader can ever fail. The reason is because there is always something left for another leader to do. No leader has ever proven to complete the task of a nation completely. No leader on this earth, I have not seen one that has ever complete and solve a country problem completely, or else today they will just forget about leadership. So we already certified the other person, that the leader that came in did enough, completed everything. There is nothing else for a leader to do. Even the greatest country in the world are still looking for leaders. They are still looking for leaders. Because there is always a problem that the leader needs to come and complete. What we need to do is to understand. This is why I'm teaching leadership in a more comprehensive way. This is not about leadership I'm speaking about. Go to my book and read it, The Icon of Leadership. You'll find out detailed information about leadership. This is about the development of Africa and how well Africans can collaborate to make Africa a unique and decent place to live. However, all these things fall within it. Leadership and other things. Some of you tomorrow are people who have political ideology that is different from other leaders or people. One day some of you will be leaders, so you need to, when it comes to unity and nationalism, you need to put aside your political differences. You need to put aside your political differences because it makes no use to a country. Politics have season. It's like the seasonal time of the year. Politics have season. The more political season is when people want to elect a new leader. It's the more political season that constitutional right gives to any group of people in a nation. After that time, when a person is elected as a leader, you become quiet with your political talks. Politics have season. That's why you play it well when the time reaches. You play it very well so you can be there. You know, because tomorrow, even if you win, you need the same respect. You need the same support. You need the same honor. Why destabilize the next person and expect to be honored? You know, that's the problem people are facing. When they have caused all the problem for one leader, then when they get in power, they want you to give them all the glory. And when they are not given the glory, then they start to cry. You have forgotten that what goes around comes around. You are on the last leader disturbing, and then you come into power, and you are being disturbed, and you are crying, and the next person comes into power, the same problem is going on. All these drama, they are not helping. They cannot build. Even the most developed country is not helping them. It's not helping them. Even if it can be the most developed, it holding back a lot of things that people who have done and succeed in it, and after everything look at it and glorify themselves, say, oh yeah, this was completed. Because it don't make no use. All you need to do is to support, because you always need to do those same things, support. Look at the more common objective that people struggle and fight and cause all these noise is because of power struggle. Power struggle is the only reason that people cause all the problems. And they use the cows, the common people, to do it. One person can use a whole group of people just for he or she to be in power. Sometimes in Africa, like African nation, one person will use almost half of the population to fight, kill, just for one person to be in power. You know how foolish it look? It look? It's really foolish. Why you could not just wait? Or maybe if you have all the people, why they could not just vote for you and make it to be the leader, than to go and shed blood. You could just mobilize them to make sure the next election can all of them vote for you. But these are conditions where people know that they are not truly a leader, but they want to use power to put them into leadership. People who carry on riot, protest, and in the background they are there using it as a political means for them to succeed into power. You know that you are not a leader, because if you are a leader, you don't need to use any rhetoric or influence over the life of the people. They will vote for you because they know you are capable. You don't need to make them afraid. You don't need to brainwash them or cause them to create chaos or conditions which would destabilize the nation and put you into power. It's not true nationalism. It's a rebellion against a nation. People need to know, if they want you into power, they will elect you. This is why on the global stage, both people in the nation and people living outside the country need to work together. Because I'm talking about the community outside into foreign country need to collaborate. We're talking about globalization and international relationship. It's not only with country. Many times people look at international relationship, they believe that it's about one country or another country. It's true. Country building an international relationship will have embassy and carry on other international things. We are not speaking about people right now. We are speaking about ourselves. That's what I'm speaking about. What can we do? Because we become part of international relationship and global relationship when you have naturalized in another country and still have your mother country. You are created another global thing that you need to now behave in a way that will meet international standard, a standard. You have to behave in that way. And that will help the nation or the people to collaborate and work better. These are advantages that come with global issues. Your own people. There are people, get me right, there are other people supporting international support. But let me tell you one thing again, I discovered. The support based on affiliation, political affiliation. When one person in, that for them, they support them. When I one group, so you find out that the community need to be neutral. I'm not saying that people will not have, the common people in this community will have their own personal interest. But I'm saying as a leadership, as a community, at the top level of the leadership, those group of people need to be neutral. That is, they should work different. They should only meet leaders, discuss things with leaders to meet the well-being of the continent or the country. You cannot be fighting and voting like I see people organizing political party instead of being neutral. They form community to organize political party to go against leadership to destabilize the country. Is no help to the country. We suffer these things for so long. I will not support it. I will not support it. Because I know how much I and the people, we all suffer. People sit down into foreign land, create problems, and bring it and put it on the common people. They are not there to face the problem. They cause the problem and they set into foreign land. You will be the one running around. You will be the one who will suffer these things. And they are sitting there and cheering into foreign land and enjoying. After you have killed yourself, then they come. These are things that people need to understand and erase from our culture. Those culture of violence need to be taken away from our society. And introduce a collaborative culture, a culture of unity, a culture that will look up and work along with leadership. No leadership in Africa supporting me. But I believe that right now, as I sit down here, every leader that in power, I respect them. All over Africa, I believe they are doing something for the continent or the country they are in. When they finish, the next leader that come there, I respect them. That's why when in my country, when Ellen Johnson was there, I gave her the support. That even one day she went to go see me. When people were disturbing, never wanted to leave from around the mines on all the area, I made sure I talked to those people, transform them, open new recreation center that the children would play. The ex-combatants would leave from, those ex-fighters would come and have a place. We all live decently. Everybody happy. The president doing her job. We too play and carry on recreation and doing our own work. Eddie Johnson gone, Opon is there, I support him. Opon go tomorrow, another person come, I support them. Because all I want is to have a happy nation. As long as the people vote you in, I respect you. The day you want to act like a dictator, take over power by force, then we talk against it. As long as the nation elect you through the process of democracy, I respect you because I respect the election commission. This is what I respect all African leaders that will go into power through the process of democracy. Because it looks so smart, it looks beautiful, that the people elected the person. Someone asked me the question, then why people cause riot? The same problem I'm talking about. People are brainwashing them after they have elected the leader. The few that was not able to win, they want to win by force again, fighting and causing problems. Because there is no need for a leader that has won you like playing a game. You have played a sport game and you won the sport. And the referee blow all you want again. After the team, then one person jump out and go and hit physically in another player's face. You want to fight now. That's what's going on. You know, they beat you in a game, but then after the game, you start to fight because you just dissatisfied. You cannot handle defeat. You cannot handle defeat, so you have to go and fight back and cause problems. That's why the people that call themselves politicians do. These are people that cannot. You find out other politicians sit down quietly. The ones then that will behave like the player on the field when they finish beating them in the match, they jump. And those national level should collaborate. I was speaking on the Liberian community and other foreign